I recommend watching all the parts that were made before this one, but the choice is yours. Today, we finally are done with Super Mario Bros. Z analysis. Now we come to the conclusion. This was quite the journey, but it sadly ends here for now. Next episode was in the work for a little bit, but that's about it. It was one of the most unique animated series, being ahead of its time, due to its beautiful, impactful animation. But this series wasn't just good because of that, it was because of the writing too. The first two episodes started in a tournament area, which actually contained a race between Mario Bros and the Mario Bros, already introducing us to who will be in the series. Usually side characters get brushed off and appear once, but I like the gags with these two fellas, just having trouble trying to get the emeralds just to sell it. They don't even care for power, they just care for market value. And that was expanded upon the reboot. Again, check that out for yourself if you want to. Tell like usual, Guzzler came in to capture Peach, and ended up having a real fight with Mario, and I'm telling you, that was like the most unique thing you would see back in that time. You never see these actual box, but it's already off to a good start. And the fight ends up being in this place for the plot, so Mario can't cheat using lava like usual. And I appreciate that, like a plot isn't helping the main character for once, no, it's helping the villain actually. The fight led to Mario actually losing, and Luigi wasn't able to help as he passed out. That's where the two spiky fellas come in, and the story really starts. The idea from Shadow right in the beginning, trying to keep a low profile, has continued to be relevant for the rest of the series. They connected to many things, finishing mecha as quickly as possible, and also bring irrelevant things, as Shadow says, that distract them from the main mission. The Chaos Emeralds are really well written here, as it was dropped to the Mario world, which are far different from the star that lasts a low amount of time and functions differently. It has intrigued and attracted a lot of bad guys try to get their hands on it, causing havoc. It slowly builds up from the least threatening to the most threatening. Since the world possesses a lot of characters, it's such a good idea to put the Sonic characters here. In their way to find the emeralds, they encounter multiple past bad guys Mario has faced. There is more to note, like how the Chaos Emeralds affected Yoshi's Island tribe, the Minus World, which I made a video about, Mecha noting down after Mario caught him off guard in that one fight to keep him in mind and take him out first. But let's talk about the characters. Koopa Bros being a good example of a good teamwork to teach Shadow and us how great a team can be when they work together. The show also shows us how powerful one can be, even if it's not mecha. One singular emerald not only buffed Red throughout the battles, but it also buffed their special attack, and they were fit for a first encounter against the heroes. Rivals, if you will. I wouldn't call them villains. Who I would call villains are Axum Rangers. Being the first villains of the series, aside from the main antagonist. Seemingly as silly villains at first, they are actually serious in their own terms, fighting for the evil and having an actual goal and actually serving their master, trying everything they can to be successful at their mission, rebuilt from ground up to meet Mario again. This really shows you that the Mario world was actually a great choice for this series, which I will get to later on. This also shows us how things would have gone if Shadow convinced Sonic to keep a low profile. Yoshi's Island would have stayed enslaved, perhaps even destroyed, which the difference being even more lives would be lost since the Emerald was there already. Yoshi's Island. An example of Mario's world who even its peaceful people are forced to change and even make traps for newcomers, unlike when they were welcoming them, unfortunately. That's how much even one emerald can impact a whole world, physically and mentally. Being the main help of the team, providing the needs so the team help get the Chaos Emeralds, before Mecha does, modifying a whole plane for defense purposes, thinking ahead, and preparing for any emergencies. To help Mario all these years, agreeing to help him again, facing off a ruthless robot to obtain the emeralds for his friends, to his whole home island getting annihilated, and he didn't give up and kept going, still by the side of Mario and his friends, and I hope that Yoshi will get his revenge on Mecha Sonic. He proved his bravery against him in the fight. He didn't run away. No, he fought fearlessly. Good job, Yoshi. Luigi, a caring brother. Think of Luigi's clumsiness and how it led to saving everyone from the minus world. It also tricks you to think that he's bad at fighting or dumb when in fact he isn't. That even is proved in a little sneak peek of the next episode. I'm sure that if the series were to be continued, he'd have a lot of potential. But trust me, if Mario's hurt, Luigi will not forgive you, and he'll try everything he can. Go into a haunted mansion, find his way through it. He will save his brother. Understanding Sonic's situation, he puts all of his efforts and time to help him and Shadow. No matter what the situation is, Mario and Luigi were there for them every single time. Even if Shadow caused them trouble sometimes. Mario as he's loyal as to his brother, the same goes for Sonic and Shadow, helping them both in their fights, and even Mario not giving up against a strong foe, and saving Sonic in the process. Him and Sonic make a great team, and also proves how much Mario would fit for the whole kingdom as their savior. Coming from another world, being their own, meeting an unfortunate fate along with the people living in it, now having to deal with this world and be responsible for every harm, every death, and every damage. Sonic on one side agrees to help the Mario Bros, knowing that with their help they can achieve their goal, and since they have helped them, they can do the same. Shadow on the other hand disagrees, likes to waste no time and take his anger on others for delaying to defeat Mecha as quickly as possible. Learning later on about him and why he acted this way, it is understandable, but even Sonic had more reason to be aggressive and upset, yet he sustained his anger inside. But due to the stress from what happened before and why might happen now, I don't fully blame Shadow. Perhaps he also wanted to save this world too, just in his own way. We don't really know his intentions. Mecha Sonic, a malicious robot. The main antagonist of this series, created by Dr. Eggman being originally just Metal Sonic, until he had enough and combined himself with every past version of the robots, becoming to what he is now, causing the threat to his own creator, Mobius and its citizens, causing Mecha to have a thirst for power and destruction, not hesitating to carry through his purpose, collecting the Chaos Emeralds and becoming absolute. Even if it costs the death of yet another world, he will continue to do so until he achieves his objective, haunting Sonic and Shadow in their minds every single day, being a threat to the Mushroom Kingdom anywhere he arrives, changing the scales and killing those who intervenes in his way for his goal. He is a menace and must be stopped before further havoc. This guy even got his own official comic series from how popular he became. It's quite crazy how Mark used a model of a simple, easy boss in Sonic 3 to become one of the greatest villains in Sonic and fan animation history. I personally like this guy. I don't see him much talked about, perhaps since he's overshadowed by Mecha Sonic or that episode 8 isn't that memorable, I ain't sure. But due to him, we forgot Mecha Mario exists. And I heard they weren't gonna keep him for long, so that checks out. Basilisx, this is how he pronounces his name. A Koopa who claims that he shared some history with him about Mario killing his friend. It was a very traumatizing that this guy literally remembered the exact room his friend was murdered in. I'm not sure if he's lying or not, but if he isn't, I would call this a good character. Finally, someone, a Koopa, in this instance, that had enough of Mario always bumping Koopas into the lava and never coming back. With a little bit of help of Eggman's buff and some claws, this guy has the best chance of getting his revenge. Not only has the Medusa effect where he can just turn anyone into stone, but he played it fair and challenged Mario into a duel first, even though, and he himself has mentioned, it could have stoned Mario right here, right now. And he also put his friends away to make it an actual duel, to settle things down between the two. Basilisx is sick. Unique name, cool design, my favorite character, even I'd put him close to Mecha in terms of personal favorite villains in this show. I'm not gonna go for every battle in the series and analyze it, otherwise it'll be a 30-minute video. Instead, I'm gonna mention the only two that are either iconic or had an impact. Think of the fight between Yoshi and Mecha Sonic, specifically when Yoshi was alone against the main antagonist. That episode I feel like was merely to show us what it is Mecha capable of, and that he will complete his objective in any way possible, even if it requires torturing a poor lizard. He was unfortunately a practice doll for him basically, but also remember that Yoshi possessed an emerald, and that made him put up a good fight. The emerald element was used often, like with the Koopa Bros and the Axiom Rangers, and I like that. Mario vs. Basilisx, the retaliation. A battle between a Koopa who wants revenge against a savior of the kingdom. A knight versus a black knight, if that works for you. Each with their own goals. The battle between them not only showed us one of the best fights in the series, but also gave some fairness when Mario's friends were stoned. Sure, Mario could handle himself, especially with the power-up, but Basilisx's buff was a superior in the end. And not to mention, besides Bowser, he was the only one to actually put Mario in his place. Sure, he used a buff, but Mario not only had his friends that of course got stoned for fairness, he also literally owns power-ups that buffs him as well. Let's say this was a fair fight. Maybe except for the fact that the 2 poison mushrooms was the main reason Basilisx won in the end. But this wasn't a duel for fun. It was a chance for Basilisx to give Mario a last battle before he licks the blood out of his corpse and get his revenge in the end. The cessation. I appreciate that this series has our most 2 iconic characters work together and be in one place, hanging out, helping out each other, and fighting the evil alongside each other. Thank you, Mark, for creating this series. It has impacted the animation community, inspired a lot of people, changed people's views of sprite animation, and with it we have all of these creative creators, whether coming together creating a fan-made collab, or ones that create their own series. A reboot by Mark himself is on the works actually. Mark never feel pressured to make the next episode of this amazing series. No one would want it to be rushed or ruined, not even you. So take your time, enjoy it, and if you need any breaks, just take them. Like I say every time, a break is always needed. Hope you're doing well. There was more I could have talked about. Didn't want to waste your time. Hey, I never read the next time dialogue on every end of an episode. Let's do it this once, shall we? Brave aid to save Peach, it would appear that our heroes have bitten off more than they can chew. With no help in sight, Basilisx looks set to single-handedly end our heroes' quest to save Peach and defend their Chaos Emeralds. What is the secret to Basilisx's amazing fire potential? Find out in the next exciting episode of Super Mario Bros. Z. It was an amazing series. I enjoyed analyzing it. Brought me back to my childhood days and made me realize how good it actually was. Credits all go to Mark Haynes for creating this series, Nintendo and SEGA for creating such iconic characters. And see you all next time. Take care and have a good day.